Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. It's going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today we are doing a takeover of Kick-Ass Rain. He's our recent giveaway winner. So he won the giveaway when I was doing my 16k subs giveaway. The next one will be about 20k subs. So kind of watch this space. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Then we'll get there quicker. Right, let's have a look then. So Kick-Ass Rain is basically a free-to-play. He's level 56. He's already done his 90 days, so it kind of feels like that's about right. Let's have a look through his great haul. Ooh, yikes. This is pretty low level. Some people gave me some flack last time I said this, but this feels like to me, you've done your 90 days, we are looking at some work needed to push this on. So he's playing in gold. Gold's good. At least he's going to get these medals coming in, but I mean, he's got a level 5 accuracy here, a level 5 HP. The areas that he's kind of moved into, fine, actually. That's what you want. Accuracy, HP is not a bad one. I'd probably push towards defense more than HP personally, but it's not a terrible one to go for. But yeah, to have only got 3 level 5s when you're over 90 days into the game, I'm right in that, aren't I? Yeah, over 90 days into the game is pretty low. So look, he's free to play. It's not like he's wailing out and just not concentrated on it. It's obviously just an area that he's found more difficult, and you know, being free to play, there's a good chance he's actually just not put that much time into the game like some of the other players that might have played for 90 days. You can easily get through 90 days and actually not play the game a huge amount, so that's fine. So what we're doing today is a full takeover. He's got a couple of legendaries in his team. He's got few more kind of decent epics in the vault. Let's just see here what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 60s outside the vault, another one in, and then we've basically got a few kind of level 50s to deal with as well. I mean, it's worth just saying that he does have some good champions in here. So, and he's pulled some good champions. So considering he's got literally just a few level 60s, we've got a very good champion here in terms of, you know, dungeon content, in terms of PvP. Not really for clan boss, but he's not terrible for clan boss, I guess. I'd imagine he's going to be in the team because he's just going to be probably the strongest champion that he's got. But mainly it's things like these block buffs, stuns, ignore shields, all that type of stuff is just really great for PvP. So we've got him as a legendary. We've got Tyrell, probably, I think he's ranked as my best epic in the game in my kind of overall kind of ratings, which is cool. A Cult Brawler, basically the best poisoner in the game, if that's all you're looking for, is out and out brute power and poison. Got a couple of cold hearts growing. You know, a lot of people have played the game for a long time and haven't got a cold heart at all, so that's decent. He's pulled Elthane right through to level 60, Zelatar, Apothecary. So yeah, he's got some good champions in here. Okay, yeah, so just having a chat with Kick-Ass Rain on Discord. Basically, so I was just questioning, is he actually free to play, or has he kind of invested in some of the game? He said he's bought a few shard packs. That's why we're seeing so many Void champions here. He's bought a few shard packs, not many, but other than that, he's not bought anything else. So fair enough. If people want to just put a little bit of cash in once a month for a shard pack, fair enough. So what we're going to do, he is already in pretty good place on clan boss for his clan. So he's going in and he is 1 key in hard. So hard you need to be hitting for 11.5. He's hitting for 14. So there's nothing more that needs to be done there. And he can 2 key brutal. He was just short today, but he can 2 key brutal. His clan have not yet unlocked Nightmare, so I can't try and push the team on to the next level. So I think, and looking at the builds for clan boss, the builds are pretty solid. So what I've said is I would just give him some recommendations in terms of what could he do to improve them, and then let him carry on and kind of get that done. So at the moment he uses Tyrell as his lead, which is a good lead, and as I said earlier, the build is already strong. This is a good build. I know he's got an accuracy chest on here, I saw that earlier. I guess for future, what you want to try and do is to swap this chest into a defense-based chest and get your accuracy somewhere else in the build. But that's reliant really on getting this banner into an accuracy banner. So if he pulled one, or if we're able to get something from the spider, then you change that up and it just dramatically improves your defense again. Otherwise, it's a solid build. There's nothing wrong. For the level he's at, that is a really strong clan boss build. And it also just works in other dungeons as well. Fast enough, he's got enough tankiness, got good accuracy, so all of those things just kind of work right through the game. A Cult Brawler is basically a clan boss specialist, so he needs to be built that way. At the moment, the build is lacking a bit, so it's got good speed. The accuracy is too low, so I would say, if you've got some silver in the bank, let's roll this banner up a bit more. Let's try and get ourselves at least to 130, 140. Getting resisted from your poisons is, it's a waste really. It's a waste of resources. So that's something that can be done. We've got accuracy here, which is good. So the main thing to be doing then in this sort of build is just saying, right, have I got accuracy on any of my substats? Or could I potentially swap something out? So could I look for a different speed weapon? Which might, like this one here, perfect. So I'm going to lose 14 speed, but I'm actually already pretty fast. But I'm going to gain 31 accuracy, which means I'm going to land my poisons. What would you rather be? A bit quicker and maybe get an extra 4 turns in, 3 turns in per clan boss run? Or would you rather land your poison every time you go and do it? For me, it'd be the poison. So that's something I would swap, and I will swap now. And it just slightly improves our stats elsewhere. We've got defense gloves on, which is a good move. Defense chest, which is good. Speed boots, again, it's good. Defense ring, perfect. Defense banner with accuracy. A really good build. The main thing you would do here is actually just start to roll things up. So the only thing that's kind of stopping us going a bit further is perhaps getting more defense. So where can you get more defense that's quite cheap? You can roll your shield up to level 12. That's going to cost us, I don't know, maybe like 500,000 silver maximum. Once you've gone past level 12, it becomes expensive. But up to 12, it's relatively cheap. And you can roll your banner, your amulet up to level 12 as well. So 2 pretty cheap solutions. And all of a sudden, you're going to gain yourself another, 150 defense? Doesn't sound a lot, but it is actually quite a lot. So Cult Brawler, just a couple of tweaks. I'll do those tweaks in a minute. Apothecary. So we've got good level defense, very fast, which is really good. You need that if you're going to run Apothecary and Clan Boss. So again, what would I do here? You could roll this up a bit more. It's not going to give you that much more benefit. Ideally, you'd have a defense amulet if you could get one. Bearing in mind, he doesn't really care about the accuracy, and the crit damage doesn't really matter. So that's something to look out for. And again, ideally, we'd have a defense-based ring. So this ring is better than the ring he's wearing right now by quite a lot in terms of survivability. This ring's even better because it's already rolled up. This 204 defense, when you're this low on defense, is worth way more than 2.6k HP. Way more. So we're going to swap that over. And then I'm going to roll that up to 12 as well, just to give that added level of defense. So we've got maximum speed boots, brilliant. He's obviously gone and farmed these. If you need speed boots, go and get them in campaign. They're really, really useful to have. We've got defense chest, which is good. Defense gloves, which is good. It's actually not. I would have thought everything would have speed rolls on it, given the speed that he's got to. But we've actually got a little bit of room for speed here. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Otherwise, good build. So I'm going to roll these roll this ring up to 12. You could take this one up to 16. You might be waiting for an artifact event, so I'm not going to swap that out, but you get quite a big jump. So you move from 15 to 16, you get another 11% defense. 11% defense is sort of like another 110 defense. It's quite a lot. So bear that in mind when you're doing your builds. You're better off finishing something than trying to kind of move everything to level 14, for example. Get those kind of level 4, 8, 12, 16s. That's when you get your real benefits. So just bear that in mind. Otherwise, decent build here. Let's have a look at Zelatar. So Zelatar is in a shield set. Yeah, I mean, a shield set is not ideal for Clan Boss. So I guess you have to weigh this up because he's probably running Zelatar everywhere because he doesn't have a full roster of champions here. You have to weigh up really what he wants to do. Having high HP is good. It works with Zelatar. That's kind of what you want. Going to be short. I guess we're short on masteries in a lot of places here. Yeah. So again, I mean, what I would say is, if you're running a cold heart for your clan boss, then you may as well go into War Master, because that's where you're going to get your damage from, and that damage is still effective on things like spiders. It's still effective anywhere else. So if you're going to run him in clan boss, definitely go for War Master. Not War Master, sorry, Giant Slayer. So I'll change that in a second as well. So yeah, so Zelatar, this build, I guess it works. I would probably rather not go shield set, but then it depends how much that's needed for everywhere else, so it's fine. But in terms of stats, so he's done maximum HP to get the benefit from the skill. This skill here in particular places a shield buff equal to 20% of this champion's max HP. That makes sense, but it only makes sense if this champion's alive and the defense is really low. So I would probably go a defense amulet if we've got one, which we've got one here. So I would definitely take this one. Some people might argue with that. I would definitely take it. Getting that extra level of defense is really effective. And I would definitely not have an attack ring. So I would go defense ring, or worst case, HP ring. But your kind of best case would be you find a defense ring like this with a defense percentage roll or an HP roll, so that we start to benefit right across the board on stats. But it feels like that's going to be, this one's going to be our ring. We're going to take this one up to 12, and then we're just going to slowly start to tweak that defense stat. So we need to get at least 2k. I mean, ideally you push 2.5k for the benefit of the overall run. So you produce slightly lower shields, but the champion stays alive much longer into the fight. So just little tweaks like that just start to help you, not just for your clan boss team, but it helps you right through all of the other dungeons. So yeah, we're going to roll this one up, and then I'm going to just kind of do those other tweaks I spoke about, and then we can get into a gear cleanse. Okay, so tweaked Cold Heart's masteries here. She's gone into Giant Slayer now, so she's going to be more effective on clan boss, but also still effective anywhere else in the game. And we've still got a really strong kind of stats set up here. This Cold Heart build is pretty good. She's a bit slow. That's the only thing I'd say. Accuracy will need to ramp up as we get through to higher levels of dungeons, but you know, for the level we're at, this build is very solid. What I love about this build is that Kickass has not said, where are all of my sets? How do I get all my sets on? What he's actually said is, has it got crit rate? Has it got crit damage? Has it got accuracy? Yes. Tick. Move on. Next piece. Same thing. Next piece. Same thing. So he's just built a really sensible Cold Heart. Really well done. For the gear level we're at, he's just put decent pieces on. We've got an HP chest, so he's going to stay alive. There's still room in the accuracy banner to go up to another, 24 more. So that's going to be 22 more maybe. So we're going to get to about 150 accuracy, which is going to see us right through to level 15, 16 spiders for decreasing that turn meter. Same on Fire Knight. So all in all, this is a really solid build. All of the pieces are in good shape. So yeah, really like it. So Clan Boss team, I've just tweaked them. We're just in a better shape. Got a bit more defense going on a couple of the champions. I've tweaked a couple of bits of masteries. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it as it is. And let's get into looking at dungeon teams. So it feels like Zelatar is already in a good place for dungeons. So is Tyrell. So is Apothecary. And so is Cold Heart. So we've got 4 champions here already that can do a job for us. What I want to do is actually just build out this Bellower, start to bring some more support. So Bellower has got full skills. Block cooldowns, he's got decreased speed, and he's got decreased attack, decreased defense. Like, all of those skills are super important for dungeon clearing. So what we're going to do, we're going to build him up. Just have a quick look through here actually. I've not done my gear cleanse yet, so perhaps I'll do that first. For anyone who knows my content, I am looking to weed out the crap gear. The gear that is just going to be going straight in the bin. Now it feels like Kickass has done a pretty good job of cleansing this stuff out, because I'm seeing very little poor gear on this stuff, which is great. It's somebody that's kind of got a really good grasp of the game. There's not much I would change here at all. So what we're going to do, yeah, it feels like we're in good shape. There's And what that means is I don't need to come in and actually just like completely wipe out a load of gear. We've got 340 pieces. I'm not going to like cleanse it out for no reason. Sometimes you see a few sneak through. But he's actually got some nice six-star pieces as well. There's no reason why Bellower couldn't go into a lifesteal set if we've got good pieces already rolled up. You see here we've got a maximum speed piece. We've got attack percentage. You know, we could even go for a Bellower campaign farmer potentially. But I think he's got his Elthane doing that at the moment. But yeah, maybe this sort of set, I would just probably just, you know, there's loads of these. How often do you use this set? You might have one champion that would need it. So what I do here is I just look through and say, right, 3 very average substats. Just bin it off. Don't need it. You've got a better piece sitting right here. I'm only going to keep maximum 3. So that one's good. This one's actually pretty good, but it's not as good as the ones with crit rate. So let's just start to think to ourselves, how much of this do we actually want to keep? And even then, we've still got, what, 5 items, which is still probably too much. So I could probably lose 1 more, get a bit more silver in the bank, because it's a level 4. We've got 4 items that are already good. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. You know, are these items really worth keeping? Are we ever going to roll them up? That's the question. We've actually just got a really good spread, though, of decent level gear. So yeah, fair play for someone again of this kind of account level is in good shape really. This is where I'd normally find a couple of stragglers, but even then they're looking healthy. So get rid of a few pieces. I'm going to gear up this Bellower now. I didn't see actually if we had a load of stun sets. That's what I would like. Ideally I want a Bellower in stun set to really do some work for me. Doesn't feel like we've got it unless I just missed it. Stun set. So we've got 4 pieces. What's the chances? Speed? Yes. HP? Yes. And these 2 will do. Stun set it is. Let's do it. Okay, so we've got ourselves a built Bellower in stun set. He's literally there to disrupt waves. He'll do some damage. I've got him with a decent level of crit rates. He's got crit rate gloves on. So I'll show you his gloves. These were already rolled up. Crit rate, bit of crit damage on them, bit of accuracy on them. So all things that I want for this build. Ideally, I'd have more accuracy. I can't get it and get this stun set off unless I decided to go with accuracy gear, in which case I lose the speed. So kind of one way you win, one way you lose. Very quickly, we could change the build by putting an accuracy banner on if we got one. So again, need to get ourselves into the spiders and start doing some work in there. It kind of means now we've got a team of Tyrell, Bellower, Delatar, Apothecary, and Coldheart as kind of a really good 5 that will be able to just do just about any dungeon, I would imagine. So let's get into some. Let's see if we can't just push a few levels on these dungeons. Let's start with the easy one, Dragon, and work my way up. We're already doing a pretty high level, actually. So we're doing 16 already. Let's see if we can just push on a bit more. So he has got his Elthane in there for damage. We're just going to pull Bellower in there and help with the waves. So it feels like this is pretty good. We don't have any poison in here, which would be really good for Dragon. If we got Juliana done, or if we had Aothar, I saw in the link and the setup there, they'd both be better for Dragon than what we got here. But you know, Coldheart will do damage on a Heartseeker once we get to the Dragon. Bellower's going to be doing things like decrease attack and decrease defense. Paywell's got decreased defense in the bigger version anyway. You know, we've got speed. We've got a lot of things going for us here. So I think we're just going to cruise through this, even level 17. And you know, you've seen the gear setups here. It's not like we're in proper endgame gear, but we're in decent gear for the level of this account and for the champions that we've got. So everybody's in a gear set which is useful. See the Bellower's coming in there. He's blocking the ability of hoarding. We're stunning up the Apothecary, which means we're not going to get the annoying heals and speed ups going on anytime soon. Here we go again. Now we've got decreased attack, decreased defense going out. That's what a Bellower brings for you. Just constant pressure, really. Constant pressure on the waves so that you're not having to do all the work yourself. Here we go again. Another block cooldowns there, which means he's not using his main abilities. He's only using his A1. So yeah, all in all, this is a decent one. See, we got it again. Yeah, just a Bellower in a stun set is massively effective for anyone who's kind of struggling to get through any of the waves. The only thing we're missing from this composition is poisons. If we had poisons here, this would be over already, but 2 minutes 20, pretty good. That's not a bad piece for this account either. So I think what we'll do, we'll try and run through another couple of levels. This becomes a bit more difficult because we've got 2 blue champs, but they're both geared pretty well to deal with it. So I think we just run through again. I mean, could I swap out anything? I could actually swap out. I could swap in Romanos. I think that's his name. Maybe not for Apothecary though. Maybe for Tyrell. The only reason why I say that is because I think he's got AoE stun. I don't have him myself. I'm pretty sure attacks all enemies, 50%, booked up to 60 at the moment. % chance to land a stun. Now that is really great for waves. You know, people think he's just an arena champ. It's pretty much what he's known for, and that's where he's best. But there's nothing to stop him coming into someone like Dragon 20 if he's the only legendary you've got and you're using him. And you'll see here he's going to do his stun hit. Bang, 2 free stuns. 3 stuns. What are they going to do? They're all just sitting there waiting to be hit again. So that's why it's effective. That's why stun is the best debuff in the game if you can get it to work. It's effective for the arena. It's effective for waves. If you can just get yourself a champion in a stun set, or you get yourself a champion like this guy that actually does stuns. Look at that. There we go again. 2 more. Who's hitting us? No one's hitting us right now. And that's what we need to do. It's just control. Nobody here is doing any damage. I've got nobody in a damage. Oh, okay. Cold. Yeah, it's Cold. Cold Heart's doing damage. I thought I got the name wrong then, but I didn't that time. Cold Heart's doing damage. She's in damage gear, but she's also got HP chest on. She's got defensive ring on. So, you know, although she's in a damage set, she's also got defensive stats so that she's not being kind of targeted down. But again, we're just kind of working our way through the waves pretty comfortably. Starting to get a couple of hits come back on us now. Hopefully we get this stun coming off again. No, I've got another turn yet. But he hits pretty hard, actually. He hits pretty hard. But again, I can't see a way that we lose this from here. I think we're just going to get ourselves nicely into the dragon. And there goes that 4-man stun. 4-man stun. It's just so effective. So again, we're coming through to the end of Spider 19. First time we're trying. You see here, the Cold Heart's now hit for more like between 350 and 400k. Moving from 18 to 19 and then on again to 20. Cold Hearts, Royal Guards, they really start to do work. People put Royal Guards in their team pretty early on, like level 13, 14. They're nowhere near as effective. They're a great end game epic, but they're not a great mid game epic. They're good, they can do the job, but don't expect really spiky damage. You actually get more damage out of people like Bellower, Kale, a lot of your sort of general AoE champions than you do out of a Royal Guard slam. As you get through the levels and your enemy gets more powerful, Cold Hearts, Royal Guards, anyone who does that kind of max enemy HP skill, they get way more effective. That's 19 done. We're going to try 20 as well. We might as well just go full house, see if we can't just get it all done. The only person here that's a bit worrying is Zelatar because he's negative affinity. I think we just roll with it, see what happens, and see if we can't just push through right the way through to 20. Again, I'm not going to show the whole wave. Anyone who's kind of checking to see if I'm doing the job right, check my energy pool. I know some people do. They're like, I noticed you used an extra 12 energy on that run. What happened there? And I'm like, well, I set it up wrong, so I redid it. Anyway, I'm going to let it run through, and then I'll show you the end. I guess right now, this part of the video, just going through my brain, it goes out to the people that say to me, the reason why you get through Dragon 20 with these rares and, you know, the odd epic in your team is because of your Great Hall. Now everyone, you saw the Great Hall of this account. It's about as bad as I've seen when I've been trying to do level 20 content ever. I don't think I've seen a worse one. What do we need to do to develop this account? We need to be able to beat Dragon 20 and start farming up that good lifesteal, that good speed gear, that good accuracy gear. And we need to be able to do some more work on spiders, really. So this is a team that is in decent gear, but based on an account which is only just getting into this level of content. So decent gear, but not amazing gear. It's a team of good champions, but not insane champions, not a single legendary out there. And it's a great haul, which is about as bad as I've seen for this level of account. Now tell me you can't do it. You know, none of these guys are running at 230 speed apart from Apothecary, but then that's all he's built around. You know, none of these guys have got insane levels of crit on them or anything like that. They're just a normal team, but they're spec'd right, they're geared well, and they work as a team. Each of them's doing their own role. I say that quite a lot, but it's so important. When you haven't got insane champs that are just going to blast through stuff, everybody needs a role. We've got a speed booster, we've got a decreased defense champion, we've got an annoying stun champion, we've got a single target nuker, and we've got someone who throws shields up and heals our team. Everyone's doing their own job. We just run Dragons 20 in 3 minutes 35. I've literally gone from Dragons 16 through to 20, single turned everything, basically with the same team. And yeah, tell me you can't do it. It's doable. It's doable for pretty much anyone out there. He's got good champions here, but they're not insane. So yeah, I think that's just a message to anyone. There's normally a way. You just need to kind of think about how does this team work together. So the next most important dungeon then for this account is going to be spiders. We saw basically everyone, maybe everyone, was lacking, maybe apart from Tyrell. I think everyone though was lacking a piece of either be it a ring, be it a banner, be it a amulet. So they all had something on, but it wasn't really like a decent piece for them. So what we want is we want to be able to push through from 14 right the way through to maybe 17. I don't know if we're going to get to 20 with this team. Probably not. I don't think we've got a team to get us to 20 here, but just push on a few more levels and make sure that we're doing the right job. So people are quite eager to put more than one cold heart in a team. And for me, I very rarely do it. I would rather have against Spider 14 AoE damage and a lot of it. So ideally what you want to be doing at low levels of Spider, anywhere from Spider 6 up to, or Spider 1 really, but anywhere from low level Spider up to about 15 or 16 is AoE damage. AoE damage consistently will win you the fight. So I mean, I've got Bella in a stun set. He's not doing that much damage, but he's still decent. He's going to come in. I want one cold heart, so I do want to get that turn meter dropped, so make sure I pick the right one. Yeah, this is a decent one. And probably one or the other here. Decreased defense coming in from Tyrell and an AoE hit is still nice. I'm just wondering if I could get this Elthane in, or potentially, AoE stun is really useful here. So maybe I'll do that actually. AoE stun. Keep the Apothecary. Let's try this. Let's try this. So AoE stun is good. Game's just crashed. More damage, less healing on 14. So we just want to keep AoEs going off. And we want to keep ourselves moving fast. So we should get AoE decreased defense. Bang. Here comes a stun. Set. Oh, Romanos has literally just nuked the spiders down. This is another thing. So you watch a tier list and you say, oh, this guy's not very good at spiders. Well, that's all well and good, but if he's your only legendary in the game, and you know what, he still is going to hit hard, probably he's good for you everywhere. And don't get too caught up in. I do it as well myself, but then I've got a lot of good champions. But you see a tier list, you think, oh no, he can't be used there. Generally, for a lot of people, we can. For a lot of people, if you've got a legendary and they're half decent, they're probably going to be in most of your teams. So see here, we're just kind of AoEing down the spiderlings, keeping that going. We've kept the turn meter kind of reduced pretty well. About half health, just over. And we should be absolutely fine here. So I'm not too worried about healing because I'm just kind of manipulating the spiders all the time. We know we've got enough damage coming in from these guys. We're kind of reliant now on the Cold Heart nukes. But we're getting a few stuns off every time Bellower goes. Bang, there goes a Cold Heart smack. Tyrell's coming in with a good old slap as well, just to reduce that turn meter. And at this stage, it just kind of feels like, how are we stuck on this level? We're blasting through it. Yeah, where's the hold up? Move on. Let's move on. Spider 17, here we come. We're not even close to dying. Nobody's been close to dying here. Comes another nuke. So second reset, but obviously we get 2 full bars here, so we're in no problems at all. It's going to take 1 more hit. Who's going to finish it off? Not Bella, he's got no damage. Here we go. Bang. Spider 14, dead. So let's move on to 15. We're moving to Red Affinity. So Red Affinity is always tough, mainly because we all have champions that seem to just be good as Blue Affinity for Spider. Just seems to be the way it is. So what can we do? We need to make sure we limit the amount of blues that we have. I don't love the idea of taking the Apothecary out. I have to really think about his name. I don't love the idea of taking him out. I could take out my Tyrell, but again, I don't love the idea of it. So I think we're just going to try and blast through it. 15. You need to be able to auto 15. It's one of the missions. So we're going to see if we can get that on auto as well. The last one was pretty quick, which gives me a bit of hope. Obviously, we do get a few more weak hits coming in with this team. There, we're sort of still slamming through them pretty well, but you know, first kind of turn, you use all your best abilities. We start to miss things like the decrease cooldown there because of weak hits. Good thing is the Spiderlings are focused on my Tyrell, not my Apothecary, and that's mainly due to the way they're set up. So Apothecary has got high HP and he's fast. Tyrell has got low HP but high defense, so we can take the hits. And we want him to take the hits. If they were going for the Apothecary right now, the run's probably over. Bearing in mind that Apothecary can also keep him healed up to a certain degree. If the Tyrell was in Lifesteal set right now, this would be even easier. Because every time he does his hits, he's just ramping his HP straight back up. So bear that in mind as well. That's something that we can change in this team if we wanted to. We can easily get the Tyrell going in Lifesteal gear. See that move there from Romanos? AoE stun, stunned up 3/4 of the Spiderlings there, and now you know over half the threat is gone. So this feels like this should be again pretty comfortably going through. He says as he starts to get low. There's the heal, nice. Slam some of those Spiderlings down. Bye bye, and then all of a sudden we've got a fresh load to deal with, but we're not really in any problems. Still got a decreased defense up, still got decreased attack on. So, you know, we're not going to take the same sort of level of hits as we should be. All we're waiting on now is the next Heartseeker. Next Heartseeker, this Spider is dead. 100%. Nice, he's got some turn meter control as well. So he's actually pretty good for Spiders. I need to check where I've got him on my tier list because actually he might just need to ramp up a little bit. He's useful. Especially, like I say, if it's a legendary that it's the only legendary you got, then he's really useful. This might be the killing blow. Nope. Nope. Looks like we're going to get one more heal off then. Thought that was it, but it's not. So again, we're kind of half health. It's not too drastic at level 15, that hit. If we were at level 20 there, we probably would have lost somebody. Good thing about Bella in stun set, he doesn't need accuracy. Doesn't need accuracy to land that stun. If you put someone in gear and it's stun gear or daze gear, that's not accuracy bound. It's just a percentage. It's a percentage of your hits that are always going to do it. There we go. Through level 15. Full auto. Nicely done. Okay, so we hit Spider 16. Just to retop some energy. I'm going to try and run with this same team again. I think it could lose because we've got this negative affinity guy that's actually quite squishy. So he's not like a Tyrell taking hits. If he takes hits, he might die, which may mean that it's better to have Zelatar in here instead of him. We'll see. I quite like the idea of him having an AoE stun. See all these stuns, bang, just done the job. But obviously once that's done, like now, he starts to take the hits. Can we keep control of the Spider? Yeah, I think we can. But the Spiderlings, as soon as you get onto sort of stage 16 and plus, the Spiderlings start to become the problem rather than the main Spider. And generally, when you're losing champions, it's because these little furry fellas are absolutely wrecking you. So that's when you need to start to find ways, creative ways, to be able to deal with them. I don't think we're going to deal with them. See, he's dropped straight away, which is a shame. Does that mean we now lose the fight? I think it does. I think, again, it's as simple as that. It's kind of thinking to yourself, is my team makeup doing a good enough job? He had one thing that he was bringing that I wanted, but actually he can't deal with the fight. So I think we probably, can I do it? I don't think I can do it with this team. Don't think so. I think we probably have hit our limit on Spider for now. Okay, so we're going to leave it at 15. 15 is still a good clear, and it's what we need for one of the missions, so that's decent. Let's move on to what should we do next? I think we do Ice Golems. I don't think we need Fire Knights, particularly on this account at the moment, but it'd be good again to move through to a couple more stages. The Ice Golems then, it's basically about, can we get through the waves? When we get to the boss, have we got enough healing and shielding? Zelatar's very good for Ice Golem, really works well here. I think we bring old Mr. AoE Stun again to help us get through the waves. He's also going to do things like block abilities on the ads, I think. So again, let's see how he performs. Getting a lot of damage off early for these waves. I forget actually how easy the waves are at this level. As you get further and further into the game, the waves become harder and the boss part of the fight becomes easier, generally, on Ice Golems. So, you won't be cruising through your waves at level 20. Actually, it's blooming hard. But at this stage, it looks like we're pretty good for just kind of getting ourselves through the waves. Saying that, we've got 2 healer champions here, so that's why. Again, it's team composition. It's making sure that we've got a really well balanced team. Stun's coming off here, that's why he's in the team. Just to give us that freedom to do what we need to do. Through that quite comfortably. Then we're on to the boss part. So what do we need to do here? We need to take down the ads as quickly as we can before Big Boss Man is doing too much work. Should get down that one now. Good. This part of the fight's pretty slow. You have to keep kind of rinse, repeat, kill the ads, kill the boss, kill the ad, kill the boss. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to skip it forward to the finishing part of the fight. Again, I can't see there's any danger of us not completing the fight unless we don't have enough damage to trigger him doing 2 hits twice. So, it's just about working our way through it. There we go, 2 minutes 55. That's stage 16 done. Pretty comfortable. The only hairy moment was when Cold Heart laid a slam in. I thought he might trigger 2 hits, but he didn't. He triggered 1, so we were fine. Go on to green affinity. So perhaps we take out this AoE chap, stop him in for the bellower, and go again. There we go. 3 minutes, and that is another dead stage. Stage 17, so it's another mission stage. We're just going to fly through these. So blue is not a bad affinity here. So the only problem we've got is a healer. I think he's going to be fine anyway. We could sub in this guy, but I think we actually need more protection than we do damage. So I'm going to leave it. Maybe I'll take it like this, just to get the additional damage from the positive affinity. It might be the sort of stage now where I start getting worried about a Cold Heart and would prefer to switch in a bellower. Let's see how we do. But a Cold Heart could trigger, like I said earlier, when you get further through the game, Cold Hearts and Royal Guards start to hit a lot harder. Now, at level 18, 19, it starts to get to that point where they actually might do too much damage and trigger 2 hits. 2 hits is almost always death. Like if you push 2 hits and you're not maxed health with a shield, with tanks, or tanks don't matter anyway to get through defense. So yeah, you just got to be careful. That max health stuff is really challenging. You see here, actually, look at that stun. Stun, AoE. Who's coming at us? They're all literally just wasting turns, sitting there, just having a dream in a dream world. Anyway, let's just run it through to the end again. So here we go. We have got masteries on 3 of these champions. We've got the worst Great Hall I've ever seen, and we just creamed our way through level 18, first try. It's doable, guys. It's doable. Let's just finish them with some Fire Knights. So we've gone cleared 20 on dragons, we've cleared 15 on spiders, we've cleared 18 on ice golems. Lastly, let's see where we are with... We're actually really high. This is really good. I thought this was going to be way back here, like 14 or something. So he's done really well to get this far. I suppose we've got 2 cold hearts running. Again, it's not a terrible idea. I don't think... I would rather do this. I would rather have more consistent damage than another cold heart. But that's probably personal preference. So yeah, let's give it a try and see how we do. Sometimes you'll find you get to level 19 and you think, I just want to get through it. And, you know, sometimes you actually just need to take control. Level 19 generally is pretty hard. Take it over, do it manually, and make sure you do it, and then get yourself a team that can auto 20. You only kind of think to yourself, there's only a few stages that I have to do on auto to be able to do my missions. Otherwise, get yourself through them and then get your team sorted for the actual affinity you need to beat. I'm hoping we've probably got a team here that can do this. It's going to be close, actually. But if not, I could probably take over here and easily do it for stage 19. So that's kind of something to think about as well. You know, don't always rely on auto. Auto's not going to be as effective as you are. Sometimes you want to save abilities. Like we get to this stage, one enemy alive, you want to save your AoE decreased defense. You want to save your Heartseeker. You know, you want to save your big heals because you need it for the start of the next wave. So just think about it. Don't always just throw auto on. So this is pretty tough. The waves are always going to be tough when you get to these later levels. As I said earlier, the waves are equally as hard as the boss. It's why you need people like Mr. Stun here to try and just kind of help you through it. But he's done a good job. He's slowed them down. And we should now be okay to get to the boss without losing anybody, unless Ray does a massive hit. Don't hit us, Ray. Don't hit us. We're sorry. Not too bad. Not too bad. Down to 2. Good thing is, if Taylor had done his decreased defense before that landed, we probably would have died, but we're good. The other thing here is, I don't need to auto this, I just need to beat it. So what you could do is you could auto to there, and then think, right, how do I make sure that my Heartseeker doesn't go off in the wrong way? So I take control. All I want to do is break shield at this stage, so I don't want to use any of my big abilities. Actually, that attacks 3 times, but I'm not going to beat this shield anyway. I'm just going to A1, get the shield open. I can throw, actually I can throw a decreased defense in, not decreased defense, I can decrease turn meter here, so I can start to get some damage off. I can go in here with a big hit. That's one that decreases turn meter. I'm not used to his ability, so I can go in here with a big hit. Not too bad. I can try and get the decreased healing. I didn't get, he's resisted it. That's a problem at this level. We've got decreased defense off, which is good. And now I'm going to get my shield up, so now I'm going to take a hit. Get my speed going again. I'm just controlling it. I don't want to... So I don't want the Cold Heart here to throw a Heartseeker in right now. If I'm on auto and I have to do auto for a mission, fine. But I'm not. I don't have to do that right now. All I'm doing is just trying to get through this level so that we can get to the stage where you have to auto it. So attacks all enemies. Now we can drop turn meter if it lands. Didn't. Her accuracy is not high enough for this level of dungeon, which is a bit of a problem. This might work. Drop a bit of turn meter. No, resisted again. And that's what, it's actually what you start to find is, because we didn't have good enough gear and we don't have a good enough great haul, everything starts to become a bit stretched when you get to these higher levels. So do I do this to drop shield? I think I do. Doesn't hit that hard anyway. Just want to get through the shield. Keep the damage going. Make sure I'm keeping people alive. I'm going to drop turn meter here. He does have good accuracy, so he should land his. Really hoping to get the heal reduction, but got resisted again. And you see, we're just rotating, same sort of abilities. Hill reduction. Yes, perfect. Now we should do it. That was a really clutch moment right there. Hill reduction stops him pinging right back. And yeah, we should be in a good place now. The other thing which would be beautiful is if a Heartseeker actually lands. So I could probably hold out one more turn on the Heartseeker, I think. Which she wouldn't have done if she was doing it on auto. We might get some turn meter drop here. Didn't. But I do have a speed up, which I knew was coming. I should still hopefully get that ability off in time. Yeah. Did it land? No. Didn't matter anyway. But yeah, that's the sort of thing you're doing. So when you're on manual, obviously you're making those kind of conscious decisions, whereas when you are on auto, it's just using that best ability as soon as it can. So we've still got a hill reduction on, which is good. Try and get some damage off. Keep our speed going. Drop turn meter here. Kind of just recycling that Heartseeker again. Drop the defense. Are we going to get that Heartseeker back in time? I'm not sure that we are. No. See here, you could say, well, should I go for a poison? But all I want to do is try and regain that hill reduction. I know how hard it is to get on because her accuracy is not that high. So we're just in danger now of running this a bit thin. So I just need now to finish this off. Let me just check this. Speed up. Get rid of that shield. We know that the Heartseeker is just coming around the corner. Get our shields back up just in case something goes wrong. Should be it though, yeah. So we're through 19, gets ourselves onto 20, and on 20 you then need a team that can auto it. This game keeps crashing today. What is going on, Playerium? Okay, so we're on to 20. Blue Affinity's a bit of a problem for us, so Tyrell is in danger here. Apothecary's in danger here. I think it's just our strongest team, so I think this is probably the team we need to run with. Might not do it. Might not do it on auto. We shall see. You saw how much I had to manipulate it there to do it on manual for 19. So let's see how we get on. This is going to be the last run of this video. But yeah, basically we've moved a team just by doing a bit of re-gearing, just bringing in a couple of different champions. We have moved a team that can now do Dragon 20 on auto, and beforehand it was sitting at what, 16 or 17 I think. We have moved Spider on to be able to clear 15 on auto. We have moved Ice Golems to be able to clear 18 on auto, pushing it forward 2 levels. This is going to fail. And we have moved the Fire Knights on to clearing 19. So all in all, pretty good day at the office. Really fun account takeover to do. Kick ass. Do your great haul. It's really important. It really helps everything else. Do it. This is Hell Hades signing out.